Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to the Sunday special episode of Around the World. In this special program, we inform you about the news related to India and the world. We will discuss one such news in today's story. Recently, the political turmoil between India, China and Sri Lanka intensified over a Chinese ship. The tension among these three countries escalated when the Chinese ship reached Hambantota Port in Sri Lanka. However, the news of the ship's arrival was denied by Sri Lanka. Earlier this month, it was in the headlines that the Chinese ship Yuan Wang-5 is about to reach Hambantota Port in Sri Lanka. China's move is a matter of concern for India from the strategic point of view. The government of India objected to the Chinese ship's arrival in Hambantota, and it urged Sri Lanka to not allow the Chinese ship to access the port. However, Sri Lanka ignored the government of India's concerns and allowed the Chinese ship to reach Hambantota. Against this backdrop, two significant questions arise. Firstly, what is on the Chinese ship Yuan Wang-5 that India is worried about? Secondly, how can any activity in Hambantota breach India's security? We will discuss all these aspects in today's story. First of all, let us understand why Sri Lanka, which is facing a financial crisis, is inclined towards China. As we have already mentioned, that the name of the Chinese ship, which is being said to be dangerous for India, is Yuan Wang-5. Yuan Wang-5 is also known as a spy ship as it is equipped with various technologies. China states that it is a research and survey vessel. China uses Yuan Wang series ships to track the launch of satellites, rockets, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. According to the BBC, China has 7 such ships which are capable of operating from the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. Actually, stations are built on land to track satellites, rockets, etc. Similarly, Yuan Wang-5 is also a tracking station which performs the same task by staying in the sea. According to a report by the US Department of Defense, Yuan Wang-5 oversees the Chinese military strategy, cyber-electronic, information, communications and psychological warfare missions. The 222 meters long and 25.2 meters wide vessel was commissioned into service in 2007. Yuan Wang-5 is the third generation vessel of the Yuan Wang series. The Yuan Wang series is used by the People's Liberation Army's Strategic Support Force of China for tracking satellites and intercontinental ballistic missiles. Earlier, when China launched the Long March 5B rocket in 2022, Yuan Wang-5 was deployed on a surveillance mission. Recently, it was also involved in maritime surveillance of the launch of the first lab module of China's Tiangong space station. Overall, the Yuan Wang-5 is a dual-use ship with military applications and is equipped with state-of-the-art tracking technologies. Now the question arises that why the arrival of Yuan Wang-5 to Hambantota is a matter of concern for India. First of all, let us know about the Hambantota Port. Actually, Sri Lanka's Hambantota Port has been handed over to China on a 99-year lease in 2017. This crucial port, located in the south of Sri Lanka, was officially handed over to China as Sri Lanka failed to maintain a proper balance in the payment of its foreign debt. Foreign investments in Sri Lanka was also declining, due to which Sri Lanka decided to hand over Hambantota to China as a foreign reserve. About $80 million were spent to construct this port. China's Exim Bank has 85% claims on this port because this bank has spent money on its construction. Broadly speaking, China has complete control of Hambantota. Leasing Hambantota to China is an internal matter of Sri Lanka, but this decision of Sri Lanka has also affected India strategically. To understand this, we have to look at the world map. Hambantota is the second largest port in Sri Lanka after Colombo Port. It is situated at the very southern end of Sri Lanka. This port is located near the main sea trade route between Asia and Europe. Now, talking about the distance of this port from India, Tamil Nadu will be the closest state to Sri Lanka. The distance between Hambantota and Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, is about 4,500 kilometers. In such a scenario, the reduction of distance between the two countries makes Sri Lanka sensitive to India. At the same time, the air range of Yuan Wang-5 ship is said to be more than 750 kilometers. It implies that Kalapakkam, Kundakulam and other nuclear research stations of India can be easily monitored from Yuan Wang-5. In addition, several ports in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh may be under China's radar. Therefore, some experts are viewing this action of China as a part of a dangerous plan. They are of the view that China has sent Yuan Wang-5 to Sri Lanka to spy on India's main naval bases and nuclear plants. India also fears that China can use this port for military activities. According to the BBC, Professor Mahendra Lama of the South Asian Studies Centre at Jawaharlal Nehru University does not consider this action of China as surprising. He believes that Sri Lanka is not trapped in China's debt trap. He also attributes Sri Lanka's ongoing crises to the changes made in Sri Lanka's foreign policy in the last 15 years. He states that officially Sri Lanka says that China's share in their foreign debt is only 10%. However, by using this 10% share, China has entered all the important institutions of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka will have to completely change its foreign policy once again to get out of China's debt trap. At present, this task seems to be quite daunting for Sri Lanka. Lama also states that Sri Lanka did not inform India about this issue due to political pressures. But Sri Lanka should have communicated to India through diplomatic channels. However, Sri Lanka did not do so. Now another significant question arises that Sri Lanka is a good neighbor of India. Then why Sri Lanka did not inform India? It is a well-known fact that Sri Lanka went financially bankrupt a few months back. It was mired in such a huge financial crisis that Sri Lankans were not able to meet even their daily needs. Then, India provided financial assistance of $3.5 billion to Sri Lanka. It provided medicines, fuels and all kinds of aid to Sri Lanka. However, it is believed that China has given a lot more financial aid to Sri Lanka in the form of loans as compared to India. Sri Lanka is still in economic crisis and is seeking $4 billion in aid from China. Experts are of the view that talks are also going on between Sri Lanka and China for the same. At a time when Sri Lanka is in dire need of financial aid, it does not want to anguish China. However, Sri Lanka does not want to disturb its relations with India too. Sri Lanka is assuring India that it need not worry about the Chinese ship parked at Hambantota. Sri Lanka is striving hard to strike a balance between the two countries only for financial aid. However, Sri Lanka's single strategic mistake can create immense challenges for India. In such a scenario, India needs to counter China through diplomatic acumen and protect its strategic interests. In the next segment of our program, we will talk about other important international news. According to the Syrian state news agency SANA, Turkey recently carried out airstrikes near the Syrian city of Kobane, which is located adjacent to the Turkish border. The conflict between the Turkish army and the US-backed Kurdish fighters lasted for an hour in Kobane. Several Syrian soldiers were killed in this conflict. It falls in the Aleppo Governorate region of Syria. Earlier, Turkey has also carried out military action on Kurdish bases in Syria several times. The Kurdish community has been demanding a separate country called Kurdistan, which is also including parts of Turkey. Turkey considers the demand of Kurdistan as an attack on its sovereignty and integrity. Mali's military government has once again refused to grant flyover rights to UN peacekeeping mission. As a result, Germany has decided to stop most of its peacekeeping operations in Mali. Just a few months ago, France also withdrew from all its peace operations, development projects and diplomatic relations with Mali due to tensions with the Mali government. Mali, which has a population of about 20 million, has experienced military coups 3 times since 2012. Consequently, Mali has become extremely politically unstable. Recently, the results of the presidential elections were declared in the East African country of Kenya. The current Vice President, William Ruto, was declared the winner by the Election Commission. According to the result, William Ruto defeated his rival Raila Odinga by polling 50.49% votes. Ruto will be the 5th president of Kenya. Kenya is the economic center of East Africa. Therefore, these presidential elections were considered quite cardinal as Kenya has a history of turbulent elections. Recently, a military drone contest was organized in central Iran with the participation of Russia, Belarus, and Armenia. The drone contest was organized at a time months after the US claimed that Russia was planning to purchase hundreds of drones from Iran that it would use in the Ukraine war. Meanwhile, Ukraine has deployed Turkey-made Bayraktar UAVs and has urged the US to provide more powerful armed drones to it. Now let us look at the question: why is the Hambantota Port of Sri Lanka crucial from India's point of view? Describe in terms of geographical conditions.